Good morning, good morning, good morning. Say hello if you're watching, or be a stalker, whichever you choose. It's all good. Also, if you are watching the replay, you can obviously hashtag replay. Um, if it's your first time, let me know it's your first time. I am going to get this started. Um, I was going to I was going to continue what we were doing, and something was revisited in my world of those great um, those great Facebook memories that you can go back to, and sometimes something that you shared or something that um, you read is just too good to be ignored. It's too good, and I mean like on time too good. You know what I'm saying? On time too good. And this was, hi Dawn, how are you? Um, so I figured this would be a time. I think there's so many people who probably need this. So I'm gonna tell you, grab your coffee, maybe your second cup, maybe your third. Who's judging? I'm not. Grab your tea, whatever it is that you're drinking, and give it a listen. Give it a listen today because I have read it and reread it 3 times, and a lot of people have been commenting on it. So it's kind of good to feel like when you're feeling something that you're not feeling alone. Alone is not fun. When you feel like you're the only one who's going through something. Hi, Harriet. How are you? Mr. Bibb is on. Hi, Lee. Um, so I am veering. I am veering from what I have been doing. I have been dealing with a devotional book that we're almost through. We only have a few chapters to go. And this is just something that I think, just as I was getting ready this morning, it just kept, it kept touching my heart. There was just a reason for it. And I thought, well, somebody may miss it in the scroll, and maybe they won't miss this. Um, so I'm hoping this will help you because I think not everybody is as verbal or as open about their struggles on social media, and there's no judgment there. I get it. Some people are called to share the journey, and some people are just called to live the journey. That's okay. I've realized that it's okay for the people who give me grief. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Rosie. The people who give me grief for sharing my journey. Hi, Karen. Uh, but that's okay because I'm a firm believer that God has shown me that for those who truly need to hear the journey, maybe just pieces of the journey, maybe the struggles, maybe the celebrations, maybe the different way of thinking, maybe how God has brought me through this or that. I believe that in those moments that it's meant for whoever hears it. Not everything I say is meant for everybody. Um, a lot of people follow me for different reasons. Some people follow me because of Avon, um, whether they're my team members or my customers, or maybe just a sister or brother Avon representative. Some people follow me because of my journey. Some people follow me just because they've known me a long time. Some people have simply found me and can identify or can relate to things that I share. And some people have found me lately and just have said, wow, I needed this. And you know that works both ways. For me, sometimes what I'm going through or what I'm struggling with, sometimes I think the biggest blessings for me is when I am brave enough to share the struggle, to realize that I'm not alone in the struggle. Because how many of us, or at times in our life, we just feel like we're alone. Nobody gets us. And, sometimes do you just say to God, I know you get me, but could you just give me somebody down here who gets me, who maybe I can have a conversation with that could be good for my journey? I think sometimes he sends those people. I think sometimes he sends those Mama Mollies. But I think sometimes in the times that you don't feel like you have somebody, sometimes I feel like he's showing you that you are strong enough with him to handle the struggle. That maybe this is how you learn how to depend on God in the moments where nobody else can help you. I don't know if that is sickness. I don't know if that's a kid issue. I don't know if it's a mom and dad issue. If it's a everything is going wrong issue. Could something possibly go right issue? We everybody has these different struggles, and if you're somebody who's always put out the greatness in your life, the social media snapshots. Oh my goodness, every time I see a picture of them, it's always great. Life must be so wonderful for them. They must not have any issues. Guys, don't believe that. That's not true. And I don't think that people do that to meaningly always show that their life is perfect. I believe that they do that because maybe they're reminding themselves that there are some good times, that there are good snapshots in life in a world full of bad things. When you don't understand where the world is going, when you don't understand why the conflicts are what they are, when you don't understand when you just got through this valley and you just took a breath, another valley is ahead of you. I think the important thing for me that I've realized in 60 years is that although I feel that way a lot, I'm still here to talk about the valley that I just got through. I'm still here, and somehow or other, through all the mistakes of going through the valley, through all the times I felt like I was alone, it didn't matter if there were 100 people in the world who were standing in the same room with me, I was still alone. I don't even know if you're watching this and you get that. But you can be amongst 50, but you feel alone because you feel like nobody truly gets your journey. But I have figured out there is somebody who absolutely gets my journey every single day because he knows my journey long before I take it. And that's God. God understands my journey. And even though he knows what way I'm going to turn on that journey, either way I go, there is going to be growth if I'm still here. Sometimes I grow through the mistakes that I make. Sometimes I grow through the fear that I have. Sometimes I grow through the bad relationships. Sometimes I grow through the things that no matter what I want to do or no matter what I do, I can't change it. I can't change it. And the wrong moves that I make, sadly, They're my greatest lessons in life. Sadly, those are normally the lessons where I promise myself I'll never go back and do that again. And I wonder sometimes, does God just sit up there and shake his head at me? Girl, there was an easier way had you just done this. I tried to lead you there, but let's not forget we have a choice. Everything we do is a choice. Every way we react is a choice. Every way that we decide that we're going to think about something, we're going to cry about something, it's a choice. Today I was in the shower, probably why I'm later than normal. Sorry about that. And I just had a good cry in the shower. I don't know if it was a healthy cry or it was an unhealthy cry. I just know in the moment of what I was feeling, it just seems to be my place that I cry. I'm in there and I had the music going loud and the shower was hot and a song comes on and you're like, oh, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. And the dam burst open, right? I just, that's hard. It's hard. But the truth of the matter is, you don't have to feel alone. What I realize is that I'm reaching out for what I feel like I can touch in the moment. And what I really need to do is I need to reach out and I need to touch the one who always has me, even through the bad times. So, what I'm going to do as far as what are we going to read, um, I want to read something I posted today that I actually posted last year. And so bear with me for just a minute. And if I'm reading this or this, I'm sharing this, and somebody who's kind of going through this, hey, feel free to share this. Sometimes people don't listen to you in the moment, but they can listen to some complete stranger, and you have said the same thing, and somehow or other it gets to them. I don't understand that because, like, I can tell my kids something, and then they can come back and tell me something that somebody told them, which I swear was exactly what I told them. But suddenly, the light was on, right? Or a team member, I can go, hey, look, if you want to do this, here are some plans of action you can take, and then they can go listen to somebody else say something and be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that. Hey, Quentin, I'm gonna do that. That's so awesome. And I'm thinking to myself, I think we talked about that like 6 months ago. You know, what I realized is that's okay. The deal is that they get it, no matter who they get it from, no matter how many times I've said it. The point is for them to get it. So I'm hoping that maybe somebody will get this that needs this. My post about 2 hours ago was this. It says, I know a few of you need this, just like me. And this is me and God having a conversation. Me. Here's the thing, God. I'm scared. I'm trying not to be, but I am. God. I know. You want to talk about it? Do we need to? I mean, God, you already know. God says, let's talk about it anyways. We've done this before. Me. I know. I just feel like I should be bigger or stronger or something by now. God, he's just waiting patiently, unhurried, undistracted, never annoyed. Me. Okay. So I'm afraid I'll do everything I can to protect my family, and it won't be enough. I'm afraid of someone I love dying. I'm afraid the world won't go back to what it was before. I'm afraid my life is always going to feel a little bit unsettled. God. Anything else? Me. Everything else, God. God. Remember how your son woke up when he was so young and he came running down the hall to your bedroom? Yeah? You were still awake, so when you heard him running, you started calling out to him before he even got to you, remember? Do you remember what you called out to him? Me, I said, "You're okay! You're okay! You're okay! I'm here!" God, why did you call to him? Why didn't you just wait for him to get to your room? Me, because I wanted him to know that I was awake and I heard him, and he didn't have to be afraid until he reached the end of the dark hallway. God, exactly. I hear you, my child. I hear your thoughts racing like feet down the dark hallway. There's another side to all of this. I'm there already. I've seen the end of it. I want you to know right here as you walk through it all, you're okay. I haven't gone to sleep and I won't. Me, crying. Can we sit together a while? Can we just sit here a minute before we go back to facing it all? God, there's nothing better I'd love more. That story is so simple. And by the way, that wasn't me. The story credit there goes to a young lady named Becky Thompson. And I think this is the third year I've shared that. But this is what I want you to know. The story hasn't changed. And God hasn't changed. Maybe the struggle you're going through, maybe that's changed. Maybe you're going through something that you're like, wow, I thought the last thing was bad. The only thing that you can count on in this life that is not going to change is the fact that God is always there. He never sleeps. He never lets something get past him. And although what we do is our choice, he is always there for us to go to. He is always aware of our circumstances. When you're feeling that pain, and it can be a pain about anything. Look, we do not have a God. I do not have a God, at least, who says that struggle's not big enough for you to come to me about. This person over here has big struggles, but what you're coming to me about, it's not a big enough struggle. No. Every struggle that you face, no matter how small you deem it is, or how unimportant you might think that God thinks it is, stop letting the devil lie to you. Your struggle, no matter what you think of it, is important to God. But the deal is, he is always there. I hear your thoughts racing like feet down the dark hallway. Think about all the times in your life you've been scared. Go ahead. Go back as a kid. Go ahead. Go back. Go back and think about that time that you were so scared. He heard your thoughts in that dark moment. He's already there. He has seen the end of it. He knows how this is going to turn out. And he knows that you're going to make it. You know when you lose somebody in your life, and I'm going to get real here. Whether it's a person, it can be your fur baby. That's the truth. It can be your fur baby. I'm sorry, all you people who aren't pet lovers, it's okay. Just cut me off for a moment. If you truly have lost a true pet, a true family member, matter of fact, it's hard to call them a pet. It hurts so dang bad that I feel like I've never lost a kid, but Lord knows, could this be what this feels like? Because you feel like you're never going to get through it. And yet, we do. Not without mourning, not without sadness, not without the memories bringing pain at first. It's no different with people that we lose in our life or people that we know we're going to lose in our life. It's inevitable, guy. We're all going to cross over one day. It's just where you end up that's important. It's inevitable if your parents, if you're lucky enough to have your parents still here with you, inevitably you're going to lose your parents one day. They are going to cross over to Jesus. We all hope, right? But no matter how long you have them, in my case, I didn't have my mom a long time. I had my dad a long time. Kinda did, but didn't. But it's going to happen. But no matter, even if you know it, even if they're on their deathbed, even if you're like, okay, they're in hospice, even if you're like, oh, I can see the downhill thing, no matter what you know, I'm telling you, the pain's going to be there. Even if you know they're going to be with Jesus, even if you know you're going to see him again, when you go, okay, even in the moment, the pain is there. The struggle is real, and the heartbreak, it's real because we're human. When you consistently tell yourself, I don't think I'm going to be able to get through this, that is you talking to yourself. But see, God already knows the end of the journey. He already knows what this looks like. And he already knows the strength that you're not aware of yet. Your strength in him, your strength in your beliefs, your strength in the fact that you are not alone and you will get through it. Morning, Donna. I think back to things like struggles with family, struggles I think of with my kids, times when my kids weren't talking to me. And the heartbreak of that during that time, I just thought I'm never going to get through this. And I was thinking, God, why? Is this some punishment? Was I not a good enough mom? I don't understand. And God, really, both of them at the same time? At the same time, God, really? And somewhere in that journey, God said, but I've already seen the end of the hallway, Molly. It's going to be okay. You're not only going to get through this, you and your sons are going to be better for it. Let this run its course. I'm sorry, my child, but you have to walk to the end of the hallway. You can stay here in this room, in this corner, and you can just cry, cry, cry and say, woe is me, and why is this me, and why is this happening, and I don't understand, and I don't feel like I deserve this, and it's probably all true. But reality is, if I just kept pressing through to get to the end of the dark hallway of that situation, God knew the outcome, and he knew that if I chose it, that I was strong enough to get through it and depend on him to work through my boys, to work through me. Because look, my boys weren't the only ones who needed to change here. Mama figured out through that long 2-year period that I had to do some changing. See, I learned that going through that dark hallway. When you lose someone in your life or something shifts, somebody walks away from you. You can sit in the hallway, that dark hallway with God, and go back and forth and go, why? I don't feel like I did anything. Why? Why would somebody want to hurt me like that? Why? Why? God, I don't understand. And God says, you don't have to understand. All you have to do is trust. Trust that I am here and I'm going to make sure you get through this, but you have got to trust me enough to keep running to me to the end of the dark hallway. God, business is horrible right now. God, I don't understand. How could you let me work so hard for so many years? How could you let me just completely get into something, and now there are struggles, there have just been struggles, and I'm so tired and I don't know what to do, and I feel like I can't fix it, and I'm scared and I'm angry and I don't know. And you know what he said? It's just another dark hallway, Molly. Sometimes it's not meant for you to fix it. Sometimes it's meant for you to lean in on me. Matter of fact, here's my hand. Grab my hand. And I'm not going to tell you it's not going to be scary. And I'm not even going to tell you how this is going to end up, because no, you've got to live it. But I'm going to tell you that in the end, you're going to be better. You're going to be stronger. You may not always like the outcomes, but I've got you. My grace is sufficient for you. But Molly, you've got to choose me. Well, God, I do choose you. I know that you know. But I don't understand. You don't, Molly. This isn't about understanding. This is about faith. Faith that you're walking a journey. And when you get to where you need to be in this journey, you're going to know what direction to turn. I'm going to show you. I am going to give you that door to walk through. And you're going to be so glad that you defeated your fears and your frustrations and your anger. But you've got to give it to me, and you've got to walk past it. And sometimes you're going to have to walk it in the dark, not knowing what's ahead of you. God, you know I have never been somebody for dark, scary mansions or dark, scary caves. I would rather climb up and around the mountain. And he said, Molly, I know you do. Because many times, rather than walking through that tunnel, walking through that cave, because you were so scared about what was coming, Molly, you took the hard way around. See, had you just trusted me, Molly, to walk through it, to know I'm going to give you everything you need, now maybe not everything you want, Molly, but I'm going to make sure everything you need is right there, and you're going to come through it. But Molly, you have the choice to take another direction. And if you choose that, and if it's harder, well, Molly, is that my fault? Or is that your choice? It was a long shower, y'all. Because these are the things that as I was getting ready, and I kept going back to the devotional I was supposed to be doing today because I had read it last night and I was up again this morning, and I realized that no, that's not where I was going today. That this was going to be more a devotion of truth. And maybe a devotion of my truth. And maybe in me being brave enough to tell you my truth in this. I don't know. Does it make it better for you? I don't know. Does it make you see it differently? I hope it doesn't make you think worse of me, but the truth of the matter is, this is my reality. My reality is, just because I don't like what I'm going through doesn't mean that I'm not going to go through. See, I tried to run from so many things. Let me go this way. I'm going to go try that, when really God just said, my faith is, I am sufficient for you, Molly. Be still and let me show you that even when you're in the dark, scary places of life, I can bring you through it. You can walk through it. You may not like the complete outcome, but you will be better for it, and you will be stronger for it. And I'm not very good at listening to that sometimes. Matter of fact, I'm sometimes the worst of listening to that, because I so many times am going to tell Jesus what I'm going to do. Jesus, I know I say, don't take the wheel, take the whole car, but if you're going to take it, this is how I want you to take it. Jesus, fix it, but while we're at it, could you fix it quickly? While we're at it, could you fix this person and that person and this person? And how about that? And God, could you take away this debt? And God, this financial burden over here, could you take that? Could we do this quickly? I swear I will learn something. And he said, it doesn't work that way. This is life. Sometimes our choices don't always bring us the outcome we wanted. But sometimes, if we're still and we realize that His grace is sufficient for us, sometimes it takes us a long time to say, that struggle was okay because that struggle helped me get to where I am right now and what I'm dealing with right now. People say, Molly, I don't understand. Why aren't you more upset about this? Why aren't you more upset about that? How do you deal with that? The reason is because I have to tell you, all those times I tried to deal with all the other things the way I wanted to deal with them, the way that I wanted to take and try to control everything, when I wanted to try to move heaven or earth instead of depending on my God to move the heavens and earth that He saw fit to move, instead of me just taking the lesson and learning it, instead of me just turning myself into a pretzel for other people, instead of me deciding it was more important to be liked and loved by people who just wanted to use and abuse me and wanted me where they wanted me, instead of me looking at the path that He is preparing for me, if I had just done that, daggone, I would have saved myself a whole lot of stress. Because all that stuff I did to try to be okay for other people, all that stuff I did in order to be loved in my company, all that stuff that I did because I just wanted to be that person's person, that wasn't what was needed. That wasn't what God intended. And here I am with some of the same. Hey, Carolyn. Here I am with some of the same outcomes in life and business. And I still believe that had I just trusted God enough to go with it and to go through that dark hallway and know that He never left the hallway. He was right there. He was right there ready for me to talk to Him about it. He was right there ready for me to give it to Him. He was right there waiting for me to receive His grace that was sufficient, to give me the calm that I needed. Going through a cancer scare in the midst of COVID That had to have been the. I don't think cancer scares are ever good. I don't. I don't think they're ever good for anybody. Nobody likes that. That big C word. Lord have mercy. I have PTSD with cancer because I've lost so many people to cancer. And I have so many people now that there's so many more people in my life through my company and social media and all of that. Don't you feel like sometimes that's all you see on your feed is somebody sick, somebody who's somebody has cancer, somebody's, and it was such a hard time. But I can remember we were not quite at the end of COVID. And I can remember because things were so backed up at the hospitals that once they found that mass on my kidney and I finally got in, of course, they rushed me in because they knew it was a mass and they were pretty sure it was cancer. And once I got to Wake Forest and saw my doctor, and this was in July, and he said to me, "Okay, we are going to be able to get you in for surgery for this in October." I'm like, "No, doc, I want whatever this is out of my body." And I said, "You don't even know if it's cancer. What's going to happen?" And he said, "Molly, this is really early." And he says, "And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest. This does present as cancer. I am 98% sure it is." And I'm like, "How can you let all these months go? Why aren't you rushing me in like they do on ER? You know, why aren't they rushing like they do on Chicago Med? I mean, I don't understand this. I want this out of my body now." And he says, "Molly, this is the first date that I have of it. And I promise you, you're going to be okay. We're going to get to this. You don't understand. This really is divine intervention. This really was found at really early. Molly, you didn't even have any symptoms. This was found because of something else that you went in for." I didn't care. I knew that I wanted it out. There was the beginning of my dark hallway of cancer. There it was. And I was determined I wanted this outcome to be exactly how I wanted it to be. I wanted the fear gone. I wanted the cancer gone. I didn't want to have to call my boys and tell them. I didn't want any of this. This isn't supposed to be what my life is supposed to be. I moved down to North Carolina for a better life, a cheaper life, a more calm life, a less stressful life. And here I am. Here I am within a year. I have cancer? Seriously? God, I don't want this hallway. I don't want it. And he says, "I don't want it for you. But here we are, Molly. And it's up to you. I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going away. But I'm telling you that you are going to figure out things in this hallway." I didn't have a choice. I knew I was with the best doctors. I knew it. I knew it was where I was supposed to be. But to be completely honest, I wasn't real sure in the moment that God was there. Even when he was trying to converse with me, even when he was trying to bring calm into my life, I just knew how I wanted this to go. And he obviously wasn't having any part of it. So what happened? Boy, did I find out who I was and what I was made of in one of the hardest valleys of my life. That's the truth. The truth is, I had no choice then than to revisit my relationship with the one person who could make this all come out okay in the end. And that was God. And I'm here to tell you, I had many, see, let me be honest. I was not one of these people who the moment I heard the word cancer, and immediately I was like, oh, I know God's got this. No, look, I knew God. Look, God's in control of everything. I've always known that. He obviously knew how it was going to turn out. But I have to tell you something. This was a complete journey, a complete learning experience for me. This absolutely was something that I had to learn, that he was in such control, even amid me trying to pull away. Yeah, Donna. That's what God did. God said to me in no uncertain terms during those months and even after those months recovering, which is why I'm here today now on Tuesdays talking to you, if you think about it. In no uncertain time, no uncertain, he says, I did not give you this following because of Avon. Oh, that's going to hit some toes. I did not give you this following because you had a mom who died of cancer when you were 16. I did not give you this following, Molly, because you had a dad who really wasn't a dad. I didn't give you this following, Molly, because you have a witty sense of humor. I didn't give you this, Molly, because you went through divorce. I didn't give you this because you lost everything in your life. I didn't give you this because you had a love for people. I gave you this because your life is meant to make a difference. That anything you go through will be used for my greater good. That I can use anything that's happened to you in your life to help somebody else find me and know that I am there at the end of their dark hallway. See, I didn't get that during all those months, but I got it in the end. When the doctor came in and he said, not only did I get the cancer, but you're going to need no treatment. I am stunned that this was found so early. And yes, Molly, you are right. This is divine intervention. Because God knew that when I was walking that dark hallway, that there were going to be other people who were going to be going through things that were still trying to go up the sides of the mountains. And we're trying to go through this other road and trying to go around everything, when really all they need to do is just have faith to walk the journey. And I did, sometimes fighting and screaming. But I did. And so here I am now, still a child of God. That never changes. Once you choose it, it doesn't change. And here I am now saying, there's always going to be a dark hallway. There's always going to be a nightmare in life. There's always going to be something in this life that sends you running in the dark. I'm here to tell you, God is not asleep. And just because you don't always get the answers that you want, I am here to tell you that He is there. All you have to do is run towards Him. All you have to do is talk to Him. All you got to do is let Him talk to you. And sit in His presence and be still. And know that no matter how bad it looks, I don't care if this is health. I don't care if it's financial. I don't care if it's a husband or wife thing. I don't care if it's a kid thing. I don't care if it's a job thing. There is nothing that my God cannot use for the greater good, but for the greater you. Because you will always come through it by learning something that will make you stronger. Quit seeking the easy way out. Sometimes we have to shift our sails just to keep the boat afloat. And when I say the boat afloat, sometimes I mean my sanity, okay? Sometimes it's just my sanity. It's like going out the window, like I don't know where it is. I got to find my sanity. Let me shift the sails. Let me go this way. Because I think back here on I don't know street, I think I left it there. I'm not sure. Or how about I'm going crazy street? Let me just shift it. Let me shift these sails because I got to go back and find my sanity. Lord, lead me in the right direction. Oh, Molly, had you just stayed. Had you just stayed on the path that I know it looked the hardest. See, it's so easy to take the easy way out. So easy. Right? So easy. I don't learn much from the easy way. You know, parents, you parents who are out there trying to make everything easier for your kids because you had it so tough. See, I get it. I get it. I had it tough. I don't want my kids to have it tough. Let me tell you why you are the person you are. Because you had to go through tough times. Let me tell you why I am who I am and why I keep messing up and why I keep coming back and why I keep sharing. Because I did not have an easy life, but there are definitely people who have had a worse life than me. But my life, in my opinion, was not easy. It was not easy, but do you know why I can stand here and tell you I'm still standing, even amongst all the current struggles? Because nobody saved me from the struggle. The struggle is real, but we are meant to walk our way through the struggles. You know, every now and then we take an easy way out. Not going to tell you you're wrong. But I'm going to tell you, when I really look back over my 60 years, and even now, with certain struggles in my life now, I know that these struggles are going to bring me such knowledge and understanding and hopefully a new way to deal with things, in a better way to have God's calm and peace and stillness in my life. That no matter what you want to believe, my God is still in control. So if you find yourself today in that dark hallway, or maybe you'll find yourself there next week, next month, remember this talk. Remember there was a reason that you were supposed to be here for 48 minutes with me. And remember that he's talking to you. He's telling you, I'm here. You're at the hallway. You're at the peak. He's telling you, come on. It's okay. I'm here. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I've got you no matter what. I have got you. He's telling you that. But you have got to walk to him. You have got to believe him. And sometimes the belief comes out of sheer just faith of walking, blind faith, of just saying, okay, God, I'm walking to you. This is what I'm doing. I'm scared. I'm so scared. I don't know where I'm going here, but I'm so tired of trying to find the direction myself. I need you here to help me. And he says, I have always been here. That's it, my child. Grab a hold of my hand. Let's walk this struggle together. How do you not want a friend like that? For people who absolutely oppose my God, I don't understand. Somebody who wants to walk you through everything in life, the worst times, the best times, every time in between. That's the God I serve. That's the God I've been trying to introduce you to for over a year now. He is so real. And when all the world is going to hell in a handbag, it's really not the whole world. It just appears that way because that's all we seem to see. Hold on in the dark hallways of life and know that He is God and His grace is sufficient for you. Have a great day. I love you. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for watching the replay if you're on the replay. Talk soon.